Yo, what's going on, Arkansas Razorback fans? Welcome to the Tusk Talk with Ty post-game live show. I appreciate everyone for being here. Shout out to December Patreon subscribers and current Patreon subscribers, but December was awesome. We ended the year on a bang, man. Did really well. So shout out to Patreon supporters. Hopefully, if you're not one, you'll consider joining. I think it's worth it. It's we've kept you guys up to date. Those of you that are, again, Patreon supporters, we've kept you up to date with the portal. We've given you a lot of information there. And, oh, yeah, you got a shot also at winning some cards, which if you haven't seen yet, we announced the new cards. When was that? Yesterday? Day before? Whatever. So I've got we'll show that off later. I'm going to show you the cards later on in the live show that you could win if you become, or if you are a member for the month of January. Arkansas shit the bed. There's no other way to put it. I know I'm going to piss off some old geezer on Facebook, some boomer, going to have some boomer-ass take. Listen, man, I don't know what else to say. We've seen this now 2 games in a row, some of the most lackluster defense. I don't know what the hell's going on. Ole Miss is not a good offensive team. They struggle, and maybe not struggle, but they're kind of mediocre in several areas, especially on offense. In Arkansas, some of the worst one-on-one D I've seen all year. You know, again, these are not like, this isn't like playing a Tennessee or an Alabama or a Florida. Ole Miss is good. Don't get it twisted. They are ranked. They're winning ball games. They are a good team. There's no doubt you have the better athletes on the floor. You have the way higher potential on the floor. I don't know. Maybe it's coaching. Right? Maybe it's coaching. Maybe Beard. You guys know, listen, whatever happened to Texas, whatever he was accused of, whatever, okay? There's no denying that Beard, it looked to me like he just flat out came in and just out-coached Cal. Players out-hustled. Players out-executed. I don't know what was up with that Nelly Davis and timeout in the second half. I don't know what the hell that was all about. Everyone was confused. Nelly's calling a timeout on the floor. Maybe we'll get some clarification from Coach Cal in the postgame. I don't know. Lot to say. I debated making this a call-in show, but call-in shows, you add like an extra hour when you do those, and I don't have that kind of time tonight. I'm not in the mood for it. I'm pissed off more than I am anything, and I don't know. To carry that on all night, I'll probably go to bed with a damn headache. I wanted to pause the show for just a minute. You can see it on the screen where it says rest in peace. It's actually, and I just found this out today, he went by 0X, not Ox. I've called him Ox for years. Sadly, he passed away. We just found out about this today. My mods alerted me to it today. Ox had been in our Discord for years. He used to come to our live shows. He used to be in this chat. He'd been in our live shows in Discord. I called him Ox. He never corrected me. Really funny when he would get in your DMs. Stuff he was funny. I'll leave it at that. Really good guy. We have a special tribute page for Ox. Again, this is an OG. He was in our Discord back when we, not long after we first started it. Back in the old Pig Trail Network days, the PTN days. He was an OG. And there's some really thoughtful, kind messages. If you go into our Tusk Talk Discord and you go to the RIP 0X page, you can see some of the really thoughtful comments. His mom wanted us to share some photos of him. I don't know how comfortable we are talking about, like, his name was Tyler, and you can go and look at his there's some pictures there, and there's some really thoughtful, kind words there. Just thoughts and prayers are with his family. His mom, apparently one of our mods talked to her on the phone today. She's a sweetheart. You just feel for him. His brother is in there now. He was, kind of talking about his brother, and talking about watching the Razorbacks. No doubt Ox is up in hog heaven, and he's on our thoughts. I didn't know him personally, never met him, but he was in our Discord for years. When you're in a server like that, when you're in a Discord like that, where everyone, 99% of the Discord is made up of fellow fans, and when you're a regular there like he was, and you're there for so long, yeah, he did dip out a couple of times because he had other stuff going on, but he always seemed to come back. And when someone's around that long, you feel like you got like a real tight-knit community, and we just lost somebody that was a part of that community, even though he wasn't around as much lately. And obviously for good reasons. I think he had some other stuff going on outside of Razorback sports. Thoughts and prayers are with him, and I just wanted to take a moment of silence just for Ox. So I'm going to mute my microphone. We're just going to take a little time out here. That was the wrong damn button, wasn't it? All right, rest in peace, man. So again, if you want to go check out that page, if you maybe you knew him, or you just had some interactions with him in our Discord or other YouTube chat channels, whatever, feel free to go and leave a comment. I think we're going to be sharing some of those comments with his mom, or someone's going to be relaying some of those messages for his family. So again, thoughts and prayers are with his family. All right. I hate to follow this up with what we're about to talk about. Was really hoping Arkansas would get a win tonight. Obviously there are things far more important than sports, but just for the fact of the matter, what a way to send this off, to talk about losing one of our own and then have to segue into Arkansas winning a game. And unfortunately, that's not what we're about to do. Tonight was disgusting. And we've now seen it twice in a row to a Tennessee team that got absolutely smoked on the road. So we don't know what to make of Tennessee. We don't know what to make of anybody really, because it is early in the year, it's understandable. It's deja vu all over again from last year. Overwhelming talent on the floor for Arkansas. The athleticism, you don't have all the depth in the world, but that's not, maybe that had something to do with why you struggled against Tennessee, and why, you got shellacked against Tennessee, and now why you've lost to Ole Miss, but that's not the key reasons. On-floor execution and coaching have been embarrassing. I've never seen a team struggle so much with either low ball or high ball screens. So many open threes against opponents this year. And we thought they were starting to figure that out. And you look at early on in the year, it was difficult to shoot the three ball. Arkansas's first, 7 or 8 games, they were holding opponents under 30% shooting outside. What has changed? Why, in terms of just maybe not necessarily the percentage part of it, but there's so many open looks outside. Their switches are slow. They don't know how to handle the screen. They don't know they're not getting chewed up as badly versus the pick and roll, but it's still an option for opponents to deal with or to do against Arkansas. I don't know what the hell we're watching. I don't know. I get it. It is. I do believe that they're year one. Cal is just now starting to warm up to Bud Walton and playing or coaching in front of the Hogs, and yeah, he's got a brand new roster, but God, that's That's everybody now. I'm just, these just all seem like excuses that would have been valid 5 years ago. They're not valid anymore. Everyone's dealing with this. It looks to me like he's just been getting out-coached, and his guys, the execution on the floor, just not there. Now it's 2 games in a row where the second half they look like pure shit. His team looks not good. Like, in all honesty, where would you put Arkansas? Even though we're just 2 games into conference play, where would you put them in the pecking order of the SEC? It would be bottom 4. Maybe even worse, maybe lower. This is not what we thought we were getting. Now, before the Kentucky fans open up their mouths and tell us, we told you so, we already talked about this. We've seen Thero's game develop. We've seen it develop. He's actually finishing at the rim. We've seen him play. He's playing better than he did at Kentucky. We're seeing, Big Z was a threat for a period of time as an outside shooter. He was a legitimate threat. It looked like maybe his game was coming along. You've got Boogie Flan. You bring in Nelly Davis, like all these new pieces. Bringing back a coach onto your staff. Arkansas fans are upset about what they thought would happen, which was something different than what we saw at Kentucky for the last few years. We're very well aware, Big Blue Nation, about what his issues were at Kentucky. We know. I don't know. You wanted something different. Will this be one of his least talented teams at Arkansas? Probably. I do think he's attracting. You don't have to look that far. He's going to crush it in the portal, and he's already crushing it in recruiting. But what we're seeing tonight, guys, right now this is not a tournament team. It's not. I'm out. I'm out on them being a tournament team until they, again, just like last year with Muss. Remember, we do this every year. We do this every year. We're going to look at this from a realistic standpoint. What are you right now? If the tournament started in 2 weeks, would you have them in? No, hell no. They're what's their record against quality opponents right now? It's not very good. You're not supposed to lose these at home either, because you're damn sure not going to win very many of these on the road, if any. And the way they're playing right now, they're not going to win any of these on the road. Now, can they get better? Yes. Can they improve? Yes. Can they get back into tournament mode or back into that conversation? Yes, they can. There's too much talent and coaching experience and a Hall of Fame coacher and all this shit on the side. Like, they've got everything they need. Bud Walton Arena, I don't really know what to make of the crowd tonight. I'm getting mixed reviews. I'm hearing some people say that they were at the game and they got really loud, but it was quiet too long. And then some people said it was embarrassing. The attendance, I've seen several shots where it looked really embarrassing, and then other shots it looked actually not bad. I don't know. But there's just too much going for you to not be able to at least not have the ability to get back into this thing. They're not a tournament team right now. I don't know what the hell was up with that execution tonight on the floor. It was awful. It was just bad. I don't know what else to tell you. Before someone comes along and, they don't like me. They don't like me speaking the truth. They want me to sunshine pump, and they want me to tell you everything's going to be okay, and they only want me to focus on the good. Yeah, I guess there was some good. Nelly Davis was looked pretty good there early on. Arkansas went on, what was it, a 10-1 ball game at one point, and then Ole Miss took the lead later on and never looked back. I don't know. There you go. There's your little bit of sunshine. Everything else is bad. Can't have it both ways. You just can't. Again, I think it was an embarrassing performance. Embarrassing performance. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. Shout out to Direct Service Overhead, the Garage Door Company. Same-day services, quality parts, affordable outcomes. Give them a call today at 501-244-3667. Hundreds of 5-star reviews. They'll even come out and take a look at your garage door and tell you what's going on. They'll diagnose it for you for free. Check out their link provided for you down below. Yeah, it's to the point where apathy shouldn't be setting in so early in the year, and yet it feels like it is. And I think some of that's a carryover from last year. I really do. What's up, SLR? How you doing, man? They play better when Adu isn't on the court. And he got in foul trouble tonight, right? I mean, some of the officiating was strange, but again, just like with Tennessee, I think the same thing applies here. Officials might have gotten in your way a little bit tonight. You didn't get that kind of home cooking you really wanted, like we've seen other teams get, but at the same time, I don't care about that. You can gripe about the officiating all you want. On-floor execution, one-on-one defense, we're seeing guys get toasted. And remember, we talked about this with Boogie Fland earlier in the year. God, he's getting beat off the dribble more than we thought that he would. What is going on? Is it footwork? We know it can't be speed. It can't be the athleticism. I was wrong, Ty. I thought Cal was going to take us to championship, says Eric Musselman's ghost. That name. I think quality of coaching, Musselman has Cal's number. I just do. I think it's not like he didn't lose some dumb games last year. He did. I mean, last year is just such a blemish on Muss's. Like, when you think of Muss, you can't overlook what happened to them a year ago. But up until that point, Muss is a better on-floor coach. I mean, he was in X's and O's. I think Muss is at least in Arkansas. I don't know what the hell he's going to do at USC. I don't know. I feel like he's going to be just fine at USC. I think he was a better on-floor coach. I just do. Again, for 4 out of his 5 years, he was really good. Did he lose some games he had no business losing? Did he get blown out? Did he start off bad in SEC play? Yes, all those things are true. But what he did in March and the way his teams started to figure it out, the rotation once he got it down, I mean, they were so difficult to beat. Very difficult to beat inside Bud Walton Arena, and they would go inside Rupp and win those games. There were times you'd watch him coach against Cal, even though Cal would have the better talent. You felt like Muss was out coaching Cal. That's not to say Cal's not a Hall of Famer. I think the argument is, and you guys can debate this, maybe we'll make it into a poll, has the game passed him up? Or is this just year one jitters? They're trying to figure it out. The coaching staff is still trying to find their place. I don't know. How much of this roster sticks around for another year? I don't think Boogie will be back, but how many guys come back for another year? Kelton, I need glasses. Keytron Clark says Cal might be washed. Mello 501 says keep cooking. Hey, Mello, how you doing, man? Hope you're doing all right. Tertiary says Nelly was all-world at FAU. Adu was really good at Tennessee. Why do they struggle badly here? Sometimes I think it's system. It's, being on a new team. Those things they have to matter. They have to matter. And we did, like everybody, we get excited about the roster, and I think rightfully so. When you're bringing in a Hall of Fame coach and you're seeing the talent coming in, who wouldn't freak out over that? But then we always would say, and I would say either here or in Discord Lives or wherever, maybe when I was on with Travis and Tim Neal, who we now have SEC Unleashed. Please go subscribe to it. Go follow us on Twitter and all that stuff. But, we would say it there, hold on, that's all great. We still have to see it happen on the floor, right? And, it's just as valid as it was when Muss came in and was knocking down the door. Pittman could have coached a better game than this. Jesus, go, whoa. Nervous for the Hogs yet. 76% of you right now saying yes. 16% of you say getting there. 9% of you say no. So 9% of you, I'm going to assume you're either not Hog fans or you're going to wait to panic, and that's perfectly reasonable. And I'm not saying you need to hit the panic button right now. I'm not saying that, but I am saying that you've got Florida coming to town. Guys, that's Florida's pretty good. Florida might be the best team in the SEC, or a toss-up between them and maybe Alabama. I don't know. Peanut Butter Posse, who is a Kentucky fan, as if you couldn't tell by looking at his avatar there. Cal's teams play like 90s UMass still. Not feasible nowadays. Well, but Peanut Butter Posse, you had a lot of success with that pre-2020. You know, when you say things like that, it's like, okay, yeah, but you may say, and I've heard Kentucky fans say this, it's a 90 style of play. Well, that's weird because it worked for another 2 decades. You know, I really think it has more to do with NIL and the portal, and everyone now has a really strong rotation, and they've got probably especially in the SEC, they're going to have someone who's either first-round caliber talent, maybe a lottery pick. Like, you're starting to see that spread out through the SEC. You're starting to see that. So I think a lot of it's that. Yeah, his style of coaching might be a little bit different, but I'm going to tell you this much. They want to be fast. When you force Arkansas to have to set up, to stop, dribble. Now, we have seen them do this, and actually it works when we get the ball movement up, when we start seeing passes, when we start seeing the assist numbers climb. It can work. They don't have to only be an up-tempo offense. My God, that doesn't really exist anywhere anymore. But when you're in a jam, you know what I mean, like nonstop. No one can do that nonstop. The defense is either going to figure out how to slow you down with transition defense. You know, they're gonna change their style up. They're going to change to, you know, whatever, a stretch zone or really tight man. You know, they're going to figure out how to slow you down and force you to play possession to possession basketball on offense. And again, we have seen Arkansas have success with that when we see more ball movement, when we see guys running around out in the perimeter, not the standing around like what we're seeing. Nelly Davis is just, I don't know, maybe he heard us talking shit because he started off pretty good. And listen, he had 15 points. It's not like it was all bad. You know, now ESPN says 0 turnovers. I could have sworn he had 1 or 2, but they have him at 0. You know, and Ole Miss, who, again, they're pretty vanilla at a lot of things. One of the things they're really good at, as it was pointed out to me in Discord, they're really good at steals. They're really good at racking up, forcing turnovers. Arkansas only turned the ball over 6 times against anybody that's damn good. And they did it against Ole Miss at home, granted. Just 6 turnovers, though, tonight. I would have guessed, again, if you would have said, Ty, all right, they're going to lose. Hogs are going to lose 73-66. Why do you think that is? 20 turnovers, right? 20 turnovers, 0 blocks, low assist numbers, lose the rebounding battle by a lot. And they're not a good rebounding team, by the way. No. Like, none of that. What happened, like, it's just that Arkansas didn't have an answer defensively at home against a very vanilla offensive team in Ole Miss. They're not a tournament team. They're going to have to now prove it. 0-2 in conference play. You're now 11-4 overall. I'm not ready to put you in that category. And I don't know that Lenardi takes Arkansas completely out because they are in the SEC and they're going to have so many opportunities to make this up. It is a tough schedule, but again, you already lost one non-conference game. Looking back at it, it's not a real good loss. Baylor, Illinois is not the loss we thought it was going to be. You know, Michigan, I don't know if that's going to turn out to be the win we thought it was going to be. You're going to have to steal some, and you're already starting off 0-2 and you're 0-1 at home in conference play. Against what I thought would be, even though they're ranked on the totem pole of good high-caliber teams, I wouldn't have put Ole Miss right now. I wouldn't put Ole Miss as a top 4. I don't know that I would have even said they were a top 5 team. So you would argue that, well, maybe this is the weakest of that bunch. Of the really good teams, they're at the bottom, and we should win this game. Florida has climbed that pole. I don't know. Again, just uninspiring basketball, and it's very unfortunate, you know. So we'll see if they can get it figured out. Again, make sure you guys like, share, hit the subscribe button if you're new. I appreciate everyone, Patreon supporters. Ty Brandon says NIT champions. Will says if we start 0-3, 0-4, we won't make the NIT. Well, I don't know Listen, if you couldn't beat Ole Miss, are you going to beat, I don't know, maybe LSU on the road? LSU doesn't appear to be very good. Texas is 0-2. You do get South Carolina, but not till the end of the year, but that is a road game. I don't know what that's going to mean for you at that point in the year. South Carolina does not look good. LSU does not look good. I mean, there are some winnable games within reach. Missouri is probably realistically a mediocre team. They're now 1-1 in conference. Who knows? And that's the other thing. These teams can just turn it on halfway through the year and all of a sudden. And that the same could be said for Arkansas. We see this all the time where all of a sudden teams just turn it on. And maybe that's what we're waiting on, that light bulb, that moment where everything just works and they're able to play their style of ball. Everyone's healthy. No more of that, right? No more having to deal with guys getting limited time on the floor because of injuries. And you're really only down to 1-2 guys that may not be 100%. Why did Arkansas lose this game? Well, some abysmal shooting, but we'll start with Ole Miss. Ole Miss obviously shot much better, 23 of 50. 50 shots from the floor. 50 shots from the floor, 23 of 50, a good even number. They shot 39% outside. I think they were a 30 – what were they coming into this game? 34%? I could be wrong. They shot 39% on the road. You absolutely are going to live with that number. Anytime you're north of about 34, 35% and your volume is about 20-plus shots outside, yeah, you're in love with 39%. They weren't very good at the free throw line, but, boy, they got to take a lot of shots, didn't they? 18 of 28. They shot 64%. They had 12 points from their bench tonight. Arkansas did not have any answers. I mean, they had 3 of their 5 in double-digit scoring. Malik Dia had 21 points, 8 boards, 1 assist, no turnovers. They had just 5 turnovers. Arkansas could not force. Ole Miss just way better passing lanes. Smart decision-making on the offensive end of the floor. Good shot selection. Great defense. 13 assists, so they're plus. This is a good number, 13-5 on the assist-to-turnover ratio. 5 steals. 36 total rebounds, just 6 offensive boards. Part of that's because they were knocking down 46% of their shots, and they were shooting 39% outside. Dre Davis got a lot of his points at the free throw line. But Dia, 5 of 9, that dude had a ball game. He almost had a double-double, 21 points, 8 boards, like I said, an assist and a block. So, again, 46% shooting and 39% outside shooting. Those are great numbers. Low turnovers. You're plus nearly double digits in the assist-to-turnover ratio, which is what they're good at. That's their style of ball. They switch so well. I mean, Arkansas never really looked comfortable. Some of the shot selection was highly suspect. 37% for Arkansas, 22 of 59 from the floor. A number that's bad, there's several, or there's a couple. One of them being 5 of 23 outside. Again, that's sub 22%. You don't win many ball games if you're trying to stretch them out and they're doing really well as far as defending and not letting you finish at the paint or at the rim, excuse me. If they're not letting you finish at the rim, you need to be able to do something. You got to knock down some 15-footers, get hot outside. You've got to be able to peel them out, make them second guess themselves defensively, make them switch things up. There was none of that. Ole Miss was comfortable all night. Especially, I'll say all night, especially towards the end, like the final 5 minutes of the first half. And I'm thinking, okay, well, Arkansas is a good second half team. They're a really good second half team. They're going to make these adjustments. But when you saw Ole Miss do that towards the end of the first half, I wasn't as comfortable saying it, even though I said it in Discord, like I'm not freaking out yet. They've been a good second half team, especially at home. That was not the case. Arkansas scored 33 points in each half, 33 in the first, 33 in the second. So Ole Miss either tied you. Arkansas has yet to lead a half of ball in conference play. Now, it's early, right? You've only played 4. It's really early in the year. But we'll see if that changes. Because you got Florida coming up, and then you're back on the road. 17 points for Thero. Thero was the man. He kind of struggled at the rim a little bit, but he overall, what a night for him. You talk about almost having a double-double. A night of almost for Arkansas. He had 4 offensive boards by himself. That's half of Arkansas's of their total. They had 8. He had 4 offensive boards, 9 total rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, 17 points, 1 turnover. Jonas Adu tonight, 2 turnovers, 2 points, 5 boards. He only got 17 minutes. DJ Wagner, we're kind of hoping we'd get him going tonight, 11 points, 0 for 5 outside shooting. Boogie Flan, 14 points. He was 1 for 8. These are just not numbers from the guys you want to step up and do their thing and take games over. That's not how you do it. 5 of 20. He took 20 shots to get 14 points. Guys, that's not good. That's horrible. That is horrible. 20 shots to get 14. 12 shots for Thero to get 17. John L. Davis, like we said, he had the 15 points. He got into some foul trouble. Big Z got a few minutes tonight. He's still, his numbers are – I don't know if they're going to make a change there where maybe we see more of him or, Brazil got 21 minutes, 7 boards. You like that about his game. No turnovers, just 3 points, however. Are we going to see a flip with what they're doing inside? Are they going to change things up a little bit because – Jonas Adu did not look comfortable. Jonas Adu did not look very comfortable tonight. 5 boards, 2 points. He did have a block. He only had 2 turnovers, but I say only. It's not like he had the ball a lot in his hands. But I don't know. There's something's going to have to change. Maybe the rotation changes. I mean, you had a full 9-man rotation with the lowest minutes being 4 coming from Big Z, who was 0 for 2, 0 for 1 outside. 1 board. Eric Musselman's Ghost says baseball team is going to be good until it matters. Most of the bats disappear as usual. Kyle Schrum says, I miss Muss. Well, we weren't saying that last year, right? Like, we were kind of like, what the hell's going on? But, yeah, I just feel like maybe what's happening is more of what we saw when Muss was here. Maybe it is just going to take a little while to get this cooking. Maybe it is going to take a little bit of while to get this cooking, right? Maybe it's going to take him a few games into conference play until he really figures it out. But we're not seeing – the only reason why we saw real roster change is because guys were coming back from being banged up. That's the only – that was really the only change in the rotations because we're getting healthy. Now it's like you've now got to play around with your rotation, Cal. Something's got to change. And you've got to figure out how to keep these guys playing fast, how to keep that tempo going. Arkansas again with 18 total bench points. 28 points came from the bench. Sorry, in the paint. 28 points in the paint, 6 points off turnovers, 15 second chance points, not bad. 4. Once again, Arkansas held to single digits in fast break points. That's not their MO. They don't win games when this number's this bad. 4 fast break points, 8 of 15. Again, a number we have seen that's been worse, even when Muss was here, but still 8 of 15 on layups. Arkansas led the game now this says 18 minutes. That does not feel right. Did they lead for 18 minutes? What did Ole Miss do? They only had 4 points off turnovers. They outscored you in fast break points. Ole Miss outscored you in fast break points. I don't know. I just didn't see that coming. 7 second chance points, 26 points in the paint. 7 of 14. They were 50% on layups, but they were 4 for 4 on dunks. I think Arkansas was like 4 or 5 on dunks. It should be like 4 of 6 or 3 of 4 or 3 of 5. They've got them at 3 of 4. I thought Thero missed one and someone else missed another, but whatever. Arkansas did lead once. The 4 fast break points, that's not the recipe for success for Arkansas. It's just not. And until they get that part figured out, they're going to really struggle. I'm not freaking out yet, but we gotta figure things out before February, Ty. Well, if by February you don't have this figured out, man, it's going to be really rough, because by that point you will have already played Florida, LSU on the road, at Missouri, Georgia, who's, I don't know, man, better than some people thought. You got Oklahoma on the 25th, and that's how you close out the month. So there are some opportunities in the month of January to recover or to at least figure out what the hell's going on. There are some games here where I feel like you're going to have the edge in terms of talent. But again, talent only takes you so damn far. Arkansas is not the only team finding that out across the country. But there's going to be opportunities. It doesn't start with Florida. Florida is cooking. Florida is damn good. Their one loss was at Rupp in a game. You remember when all these SEC teams are getting blown out on the road, they lost by 6 points. They beat Tennessee 73-43. My God. I'm not saying it's impossible to beat Florida, but right now they appear to be one of the juggernauts in the SEC, while Arkansas is not. They're still trying to figure it out. So, again, Arkansas is going to start off 0-2 in conference play. You're wondering if help is on the way. I don't know. It maybe, again, it's a change in rotation. Maybe it's a change in what bigs you have on the floor and maybe what that looks like. Maybe we see a switch up with Nelly. Richmond, once again, kind of came off the bench and provided a little bit of a spark. Wasn't enough. God, even the open shots for Arkansas wouldn't drop. Even the open shots wouldn't drop for Arkansas. Again, too many open threes. The perimeter defense is just, I guess we're going to have to chalk it up to, it depends on the night when they want to play perimeter defense. I don't know. Again, a dude with 17. He's the second leading scorer, no matter the team. Dia was the leading scorer for both teams with 21 points. I really was hoping I'd get to use the gold chain tonight. I really thought Arkansas would win this. I really thought they're going to have a bounce-back game. The other argument could be made that, is this Tennessee beating you twice? Let's be real. Since Tennessee, going into the Tennessee game, you felt like there was a real opportunity Arkansas could make that a hell of a game. And now it's like, I don't know if Arkansas, I don't know where their first SEC win's going to come. If they meet what we believe, and I know I'm not alone in this, their max potential, and they play like they did against Michigan for the most part. If my God, if shots fall, if the defense steps up, if they could get some fast break points, if they could play, better in transition on offense, being faster, playing with that up-tempo style of ball, and they play really damn good, yeah, they could beat Florida. I think they are that caliber of a team. Again, there's too much talent to say that they're just not going to win. They're going to beat somebody. They're not going to go 0-for in the SEC. In fact, I think they are going to catch someone sleeping, maybe even get a win on the road, maybe. It just may not be against a higher caliber team. But right now, I don't know where my confidence is, where it's at in terms of seeing this all unfold. Them ever reaching their potential. I don't know. It's deja vu with Muss, the last couple of years. Boy, when are they going to turn it on? When are they going to do it? We thought Arkansas turned the corner, especially post Michigan or coming out of the Michigan game. I don't know. Again, it's just a little disheartening. I appreciate everyone that's in here. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Charles says, I think it's going to be ugly. Yeah. Boogie's youth hurts us at times with his shot selection, but man, when he's on, he's elite, says Jason Mayat. What's up, Jason? Hope you're doing well, man. Yeah, Boogie can turn it on, and he can play great. He really can. There's a horrible virus going around. I hope they're not sick. If you were to tell me they had a virus going around, I would 1,000% believe it, because at least going back to the Tennessee game, this team just has not looked the same since again, Michigan and on. And then sometimes it's just who you're playing. Who's Ox? That was a Discord member that we had pass away. Again, if you're just joining us and you're trying to figure out what's going on, it was actually 0X. I called him Ox for years. I found out today that's not what it was, actually just 0X. I just called him Ox, and he never corrected me, not once. But he passed away, so we had a moment of silence for him earlier. We have a room open in Discord. If you want to go pay your respects, you want to leave a thoughtful comment or something, feel free to do so. Again, it's the RIP 0X page if you want to go check that out. I think his older brother is in that. He is in the Discord now. So love the show time. If there's any fans at Brewski's, I'm good for a round of pool. There you go. Right there. Reefer Conway was at the game. Tied gold chain goes to Ox. Leave it to him. He gets the gold chain. You know what? I think that's a really good idea. Hang on just a second. Hang on just a second. You know what? Actually, let me play this video here really quick. This is for the month of month of January cards. It's a really quick video. It's like 25 seconds. Let's play that. While we're doing that, we're gonna put this gold chain on. All right. Wearing this one for Ox. Rest in peace, man. I think that was a very good suggestion. We're going to end it there. Giving Ox, or 0X, a.k.a. Tyler, we're going to give him the gold chain tonight. Again, thoughts and prayers are with him and his family. Longtime member of the Tusk Talk Discord community. He's in our thoughts and our prayers, and of course, it's going to be weird, him knowing that he's not ever going to be around again, but we know he's up in hog heaven, man. So he's probably just as disappointed tonight as we are. So yeah, there you go, Ox. That one's for you. And good call by Mr. DC33. I couldn't agree more. Right there. There you go. So we'll end it on that. We'll be back on, actually tomorrow, we've got Blake Lovell from Southeastern 16. He's going to come on, and we're going to talk about the SEC. We're going to talk about Arkansas. We're going to get his take on everything. So hopefully I'll see you guys there. If not, feel free to watch the video, maybe when you get off work or whatever, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. All right? Okay. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning.